If you see the AC off due to high engine temp warning in your Chevy Cruze, it means that the engine is overheated. And the message is pretty misleading because a lot of people will start checking the AC, checking the climate control system, but it's not about the climate control at all. So what happened? The engine got overheated, or at least the engine brain thinks that it's overheated, and the ECU just turned off the AC in order to avoid the engine being loaded, because the AC compressor is driven by the serpentine belt that is driven by the engine, and when the AC is on, this compressor creates some additional load to the engine, and when it's overheated, of course, you don't want to get a lot of load to the engine. So the ECU is pretty clever. It turned off the AC compressor, and it tells you that the AC is off because the engine is overheated. That's what you need to understand. Now, there are 4 common reasons why the engine may overheat in a Chevy Cruze, and the first reason is the coolant level issues, which is not that uncommon for Chevy Cruze because the coolant may leak in a lot of places, and the coolant level may drop and you will get overheating. The second issue is the thermostat issue, which is also not that uncommon in Chevy Cruze vehicles. The thermostat may be stuck in the locked position, and the coolant will only circulate in the small circle, so inside the engine. The coolant will not even go to the radiators to cool down, so whatever you do and however you drive, you will still get overheated engine, and the engine temperature sensor will register this overheating, so you will look at the gauge of the engine temp and you will see that the gauge is in abnormal position, so the engine overheats pretty fast. And the third reason is the water pump. So if the water pump stops working, whatever you do, once you start the engine, it will overheat pretty rapidly. And how can you check this? You need to look at the coolant tank and see if there is some life in this tank. There is the pipe in this tank that gets all the coolant back from the engine, and when the water pump works, from this pipe you will get the constant coolant flow, and you can easily check this. But be very careful, don't touch this tank when the engine is overheated or just hot. Don't open the cap, don't touch it. Let the engine cool down and then start the car, and then see. You may open then the cap on the coolant tank and see if the coolant flows into this tank. If it flows, the water pump is okay. And the fourth common reason is the engine temperature sensor. So if the engine is actually not overheated, but the sensor thinks it's overheated, it's not that common for Chevy Cruze, because all 3 previous reasons are way more common. But anyway, it's not impossible. Now, there are a lot of talks on the internet about the radiator fan issues. Well, yes, the radiator fan in the Chevy Cruze is not perfect, and it can fail because it has several positions, several speeds, and usually when the car reaches 60,000-80,000 miles, several of these speeds, they don't work. So when it should be low speed, there is nothing. When it should be medium speed, there is nothing. And only when the engine is pretty overheated and the fan speed should be pretty high, it turns on, for example. Yes, this may happen, but it will never lead to these issues, because when you're driving, not idling, but driving, this fan is not needed and the car will cool on its own just by the wind coming to the radiator. Is it safe to drive when you see this AC off due to engine temp? It's not safe to drive if your engine is overheated. If it's overheated and you keep driving it, you will kill the engine in several miles. So what to do? You need to let your engine cool down. Just stop your car, turn it off, let the engine cool down for 15-20 minutes, and then start driving and observe the engine temperature gauge. If it shows overheating, you need to stop your car. It's not safe to drive. If after that you start driving and the engine temperature gauge is just like normal, the needle stands in the center, it's okay, you can keep driving, it's absolutely safe.